Hello and welcome to Power BI Lunch and Learn. We're at season 3, episode 6, and this is our series finale. What a great series we've had, this time round, and I can't believe it's the last one of the year already. We've been going now for eight months straight almost, and we've had 3 fantastic seasons. And each season we've done something a bit different. We've changed it up to try and make it interesting, keep it interesting, keep things on point. Keep up with the trends. So that we cover things that actually matter to all of us. Things like fantasy football. But we've had some really great sessions this series with all our sort of attendees from Series 1 and Series 2 coming on and showcasing their sort of Power BI achievements. And if you need to go and look at those, you can do on our website. The great thing about this is that we do love doing this, and we have a lot of fun in the background. We've enjoyed this series, especially working with our special guests, working on their presentations and helping them refine their delivery process as well. And one of the reasons that we do this is, we want to stay connected to you guys. We try to keep it real, we want to stay connected to each one of you, because one of the things that we do miss, I guess, from back in the meetup days is that, I miss that interaction, that social connection. I miss having pizza with a random person and talking Power BI. And I guess Lunch and Learn was the closest we're going to get to that now at the moment. So, but anyway, let's get on with the show here. Today we have going through our intros and updates as we are doing right now. In a few minutes time we've got Kristina Xhaferaj, and she'll be going through statistical process control reporting in Power BI. Really interesting session, really informative. I'm really looking forward to this one, as should you. Around 1 o'clock we've got Ben Howard, so our resident. I was due to do use relationships, not user relationships, use relationships. I was due to do that, but Ben, collared me this week and he said, Sheb, I've got a really cool presentation on barcodes. And so I gave up my place once he'd demonstrated that to me. It was pretty cool, and I was pretty impressed. So I'm really looking forward to that one as well in part 2. So Ben's coming up at 1 o'clock, and then hopefully we'll close at around 1:30. Season 3 feedback. Please take a few minutes, to send us some feedback, because we run these sessions for you guys. It helps us improve our sessions, keep things on point, like I've mentioned before. So we're actually covering the topics that you guys send over to us, so we can tailor that content as well and make sure we're feeding you the right data, right information, and right content as well. There's an opportunity for you to present as well, so you can sort of send your name forward if you want to present next season as well. Send us your details, give us an overview of what you want to talk about, and we can get that in play as well. And as well as that, we want your recommendations. What do you think could improve, this show? We want your feedback, your ideas, your comments. So please take a few minutes, even right now. Hopefully, Lewis will post a link to the chat window. Whilst we're going through this introduction, you can go through and fill in that feedback form. That would be greatly appreciated. So last week or week before, we had Power BI update in November, and a lot of updates. You've potentially seen this already, and a lot of cool things have come out this month. Visual data prep, as you can see on the screen at the moment, is really sort of simplifies the view for data analysts, and allows them to sort of understand the flow of data, a big picture of it, as well as going into sort of detailed view of that as well. So really interesting visual data prep preview there. And then there's the sort of visual zoom slider, which is really cool as well. Some really cool features that have come out this update. So if you haven't got that update, go and get it. If you've downloaded from the store, it should already be updated. Pluralsight free weekend. So Ben, our resident, is also a Pluralsight author, and his session on getting started with Power BI for business professionals is free this weekend. So get to Pluralsight, get signed up, and get your free access to his report, and as well as sort of a lot of others as well. So just a link. If you need a link to that, we'll get Ben to post that out to you. Your career. So again, we've had a number of people, a number of consultants contact me this week as well. And I'm happy to say I've put forward a number of consultants as well, or potential consultants for the roles at Cloud2 as well. The opportunities there are massive, and the way they look after their staff, the way they sort of help progress your career is incredible. And you'll actually see that with our special guest today in Kristina. So if you do want an introduction, I'm happy to give you that introduction. Send me a message. We can have a conversation and then move that forward for you. So let's bring on the guest, Kristina Xhaferaj. So Kristina studied psychology and holds an MSc in psychological research methods. She's been working for Cloud2 now for just over a year, and we'll go over what she's sort of picked up in that time. She loves machine learning, and she'll be presenting SPC reporting to us today. So I'll give Kristina a shout out. Kristina, are you there?
Yes, Sheb. Thanks for having me.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm good. Very excited to be here today.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. Just going to put you on screen so you can say hello to everyone.
Yeah.
Hi there.
Hello, everyone.
Hello there. So yes, just give us a brief overview of yourself.
Well, yes, I'm a psychology graduate, and I have done a master's in psychological research methods, and which had a advanced statistics component in it.
Yeah.
And well, after my master's, I started working for Cloud2, so learned Power BI, which I wasn't familiar with. And yeah, I've received a lot of support from all of the team, and now I can do reports and help them even more as
And I bet these sort of psychological research methods and all the statistics that you've worked on as well, I bet that really helps with the analysis that you create in Power BI as well.
Well, yes, because in psychology we use like a lot of data in order to do our research. So I was familiar with things like transforming data and presenting them effectively.
Good. Well, we're really looking forward to your session. So if you want to share your screen,
yes, of course.
I can share that for you, and then you can get started.
Yes, of course. So let me share my screen, and well, I have a small presentation, few slides, just so we get a bit familiar with what I'm going to show in the Power BI demo. So let's start with what we do. Actually, with SPC charts, what we really want to do is learn from variation. So every process has variation, and often we need to understand whether this variation is trivial or significant, if something happens there or is just something normal. Now, I think an example will help to demonstrate that. So here we have like a few days, the amount of time that it took us to go to our job. And we can see 11, 15, 13, and then on Thursday we have 38. Now, when we plot it, we see this this on Thursday that we have. It seems this seems odd, but we cannot make a decision only just by looking something. We need what we need is an objective tool for effective decision making, and that's where SPC charts can really help us. So statistical process control was developed by Walter Shewhart during the 20s when he was working for Bell Laboratories. Actually, he wanted to just check, the faulty telephones. And SPC charts are used till now in different industries, and they are an important tool that we have for quality improvement to monitor our processes and improvement. Now I have a sample chart here. So data are usually plotted through time. We can see here our x-axis, and the two main components of the SPC charts are the control limits, the upper and lower limit, and we have the center line. So this is how a control chart looks like. Now, there are different types of charts for different types of data, and each of them has its own calculations that we use in order to obtain these upper and lower limits and the center line. Also, the way that we distinguish trivial from significant variation is we use a set of rules. Now, this set of rules they are some data patterns that we see, and we identify that there is special cause variation, as we would say in SPC terms. So special cause variation, it's something that it's not normal in our process, something that we want to look a bit further. Common cause variation is something that we expect, something that we know it will be there. And what we wanted to do is apply this methodology, this SPC methodology. However, there is a challenge here, because existing SPC tools in Excel, for example, they have a difficulty to fix baselines, to do recalculations, to add annotations, and it's difficult to meet the NHS guidance in general, which was particularly important for us because we collaborate with a lot of healthcare providers. So what our goal was is to create these SPC charts in Power BI that will have an interactive wizard. So to make all these things that you want to do with an SPC chart, to make it easily for the user. Some things would be like quickly fixing baselines, remove data points from the analysis, recalculations of control limits. So actually, these are a small selection of the requirements that we had. Actually, there was a much longer list with around, I think, 20 requirements that we had there, and we wanted a tool to create a tool as a company to satisfy all these requirements. So we wanted to do this in Power BI, and this is because Power BI is a great tool. You have interactivity, you have the tooltips, you can highlight, you can have the data processing and the visualization in the same place. But the important thing was, how do we build a custom visual? We were not experienced in that. However, all of the team kind of gathered and put and had some input in this trial and error. We tried DAX, we tried R. These provide powerful statistics, but lack interactivity. Finally, we were able to build something that would be what we needed. And with this, I'm going to show you now the Power BI report so you can see how this looks like. So this is a typical Power BI page. We have here a slicer. We have here, I have brought one of the SPC charts. I have a control chart. I have it here. Now, in this example, what I want to do is I want to monitor my complaints. And I will bring complaints and date. I can also bring department. I have here group by. I can choose department to set this hierarchically, to do all these things for each department. For now, I will keep it simple and do for all of them, all of my data. So as you can see now, automatically I have upper and lower limits. I have my center line. I have here my mean, it's 11.9. And now if I hover over a data point, it says that the day, the measure, upper, lower limits, and center line. Also, it says that this is baseline. So actually, automatically, it has taken all of my data points and have used them to create these components. Now, what I would like to do is actually I would like to use the first part of my chart. So I will go to this data point here, click on it, and then I have this interactive wizard that will help me fix my baselines. So I have two options here, mark baseline and mark default baseline. Now, if I wanted to do this process separately for each of my departments, I will use mark baseline. Now I want to do it in my whole set of data, so I will use mark default baseline. I have also some other options here, ghost point and export data, but I'm not going to use them right now. So mark default baseline, and as you can see, automatically it has highlighted these points. These are now red. Also, the whole chart is becoming red. Now, if I hover over one data point, I can see that I have a rule, a special cause variation rule that applies to this data point, and that is 8 or more consecutive points are above or below the center line. As you can see here, we have all these data points that are below the center line, and the reason why the chart is red is because the last point is shows a special cause variation. So what I will do is I will come here in the first point and click into that. And as you can see, now I have more options. I have start shift, shift 8 points, shift to end. So start shift gives me the ability to choose this data point and then manually go and select which will be the last point of my shift. Shift 8 points will use the next 8 points. This is pretty standard. And lastly, we have shift to end, which will use all the rest of the points to do this recalculation. I will go to shift 8 points. And as you can see now, I have, again, upper and lower limit. I have also a new center line, and you can see the difference here. We have 14.367. Here I have 8.875. And what I want to do is actually I want to remove a data point because I know that in this date, I have made an error. There is something there, and for this reason, I want to remove this one. So it's important to keep in mind this mean, it's 8.9, let's say, and now I'm going to remove this one. Now, by clicking this one, I have the option ghost point. This will remove this data point from my analysis. So I will click this. As you can see, my mean changed, and also this data point now is transparent. Also, when I hover over it, I can see that this value is ghosted. So after that, I would like to write something, to leave a comment here on my data. So let's say that I know that on this date, I introduced an intervention. So that's why my complaints have lowered. The amount of complaints has been lowered. So I will come here and write intervention, and I will submit this annotation. As you can see here, there is an indicator, this red exclamation mark over this point. And when I hover over this point, I can see the comment that I made. And now I have fixed my baselines, did some recalculations, and I have it ready. However, there are a few bits also that I would like as a user to change. And one of them is this indicator here. So with this indicator, what it tells us, the direction of the arrow shows us how our data are going, so the direction of our data. And here they are going down, so this is correct. Now the red shows if this is good or bad, if it is a good performance, let's say, or not. What I will do is I will go in formatting options. Now here we have over 80 options. It's highly customizable. So what I want to do is I will go here and I will type direction. And you can see under the chart settings, desired direction of travel. It's set automatically into up is good. However, down is good because we want complaints to be low, not high. When I set this correctly, now I have this as green, and it is here in the top of my screen. Now, another thing that I would like to do is, because I think that this date format is not very clear, I would like to make it a bit better. So I will come again here and I will go to format my x-axis. So without changing my data at all, only within the chart, I will come here and I will choose, there is a different selection of date formatting. I will choose this one, and now it's clearer for me to see which date is. The last thing that I would like to show you that we can do here is actually, because I think this does not look very clear, this annotation, I would like to change the icon. So instead of exclamation mark, I would like to do something a bit more interesting. So I will come again in my formatting, and under the chart settings, I have the annotation marker character. So here I have this exclamation mark. I will remove that. I will do Windows dot, and now I have this selection of emojis. I will go here and use this bubble. I can use anything really, but I like this one. I will use 2 of these, and now, as you can see, my chart, in my chart, when I leave an annotation, when I leave a comment, I have this indication. So if I go here and do it again, let's leave one annotation here, we can see this again. So these are the features, the main features that we try to include in our SPC charts. We worked collaboratively to help build these charts. And yeah, if you have any questions, please be free to maybe put them in the chat or send them through email if you remember something later. I will be happy to answer.
Thanks, Kristina. I've got some questions, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, no, it's an amazing presentation. Really like the way that chart has come out there. So I just wanted to understand the reason you changed the baseline there. What reason would that be? So in terms of the complaints there. Mm-hmm.
So after this point, we saw that our complaints are continuously lower than the center line, which is an indication that something has changed in our process.
So now, something's getting better.
Yes, in this case, it's getting better, and I hope for every process everything gets better. Yeah. But can be whatever, in whatever direction. So in this example, we understand that this has happened because we had an intervention previously. Right, of course, real life data and real life processes, these are dummy data. needs some digging, need to go through an exploration of why we may have this special cause variation.
But yeah, this is a really interesting way to sort of view that that analysis as well. And what other sort of scenarios could this sort of chart work in?
Well, we have different charts for different types of data. Some other examples, let's say, would be the orders that have been completed correctly. Maybe, I don't know, you have an e-shop and you want to see that your orders are going to customers and they are complete and correct and they don't have any issues. Also, another thing would be the amount of money spent for a particular reason. Also, defective products really can be applied to a wide variety of processes.
And I know that excuse me, I know that the NHS are using SPC charts quite actively. So what sort of analysis are they getting from these sorts of charts?
Well, generally they use these things. They may use for admission, for length of stay, really for everything, for every measure that you keep a record of, then you can apply these SPC charts. Yeah, this methodology can be applied. Good.
Brilliant, brilliant. Ben, Lewis, are there any questions in the forums?
There's some on the forums. Let's just briefly read them out and then we can cover them off. Instead of having that, and this is an SPC, so I suspect it's not, the line in the middle there is the median line, of course. Yeah. Somebody wants to have the moving average. Is that an option?
Yes. For example, you can have different charts that have this option. Now this has just a mean, it's just a demonstration, but we have different charts for median, I see, for moving average. We have different options.
Yeah, brilliant. There's a load of other questions, such as how was the graph created? People prefer to use the median. Somebody else saying, you know, are there quite a few configuration options? I think you mentioned there were 80 or something like that. Is that right, Kristina?
Yeah, there are like pretty much you can change like the colors, the things, the rules that can be applied. Really, there are many, but just we don't have time, I guess, to go.
Yeah, we don't have. I guess my last question is, can we buy it?
Yes.
Free.
Well, I'm not the right person to ask that, but for this is a product available from Cloud2, so
right.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I think I have like in my slide, so I can leave this here.
Yes,
in case you, I have the email here. So get more at cloud2.co.uk in case someone wants to contact us for these for whatever reason. If they have any other questions, I will be glad to answer them.
No, definitely. Thank you very much for that. Thanks, Kristina. That was a really interesting session. Really enjoyed that. So thank you very much for presenting SPC charts in Power BI. So we have a special guest here today. So there's someone here who's been away for a while, who's not been able to join us regularly as much as he'd want to due to other commitments. But we have him here just before our next session. We've got a special guest here with us today. Would you like to say hello, Mr. Alex Taylor?
I'm in disguise. How you doing, members? It's Alex. As you can see, I've been not involved in this season's Power BI Lunch and Learn, but I have caught quite a few of the sessions. They've been fab, and I've seen lots of feedback. Sorry, I've not been able to take part. Wednesdays have been preoccupied with my little one as I look after him on a Wednesday, and also with my wife undergoing, she's pregnant, so it's good news as well. So we've had lots of things going on in the background. So just wanted to drop in on today's session to mention next Thursday's Power BI user group. I'm just going to quickly share my screen. Bear with me a second.
I like the mustache. Is that is that particular reason you're doing that?
That's my Movet. Well, it's
right. Okay. So
just to raise funds for.
That's a really good cause. That's a really good cause. It's a good look on you. I think you should keep it. What does the wife think?
She's not a fan. So next Thursday, we've got 4 speakers for Power BI Manchester. We've got Chris Waldrink, who's presented at Power BI Manchester. People have probably seen him. He's done 2 sessions in the past. Chap from Holland. Screen's a bit friendly there. So Chris is going to speak on DAX again. Followed by Chris, we've got Michael Razima, and then we've got Maria. Sorry, my computer's going a bit slow. Apologies, guys. Struggling to share my screen.
You plugged up the internet again.
Yeah, probably.
That's coming up next Wednesday or next Thursday, is that?
Next Thursday at 5:30, we're going to do a slightly earlier session to fit in the 4 speakers. So we've got Chris Waldrink, Michelle Razima, Dania Mamadali, and Maria Florencia Hurankiuk. Apologies for the pronunciation. So Chris is going to do DAX, how to use a DAX first approach to how to use a DAX to design a first approach during the requirements gathering process. We've got Michelle Razima, who'll be talking about leveraging auto-exist in Power BI, and then Maria and Dania will be talking about common errors in Power Query and how to fix them. So that'll be next Thursday, the 26th of November, 5:30 will be starting. If you can't attend it live, don't worry, it'll be available on demand, and that'll be available from about 8ish when we wrap up the session next Thursday. But yeah, do RSVP. I'll be sending out the Teams links via the meetup very soon, and I've also just posted it on LinkedIn today, so do tag your friends and colleagues. And also there will be a special Power BI December session. We normally don't have December Power BI user group because normally 3rd week in December everyone's busy with Christmas and the Christmas markets and sort of Christmas parties, etc. But because of this random 2020 and what's going on, we're going to do a special Power BI session on the 17th of December. I'll send you through details of that. We've got 4 speakers, and it's going to be another football special, which I know Sheb's happy about. I think Sheb's going to be involved if he can help out. But we've got Ryan back, we've got Jamie Cook back, we've got James Best. So we've got lots of fantastic talks about Power BI, and we'll also do an update on those people who are involved in the Power BI Fantasy Football League. Without further ado, I'll hand back to speaker Ben.
Thank you. Well, I'm not Sheb, but thank you.
Yeah, but I mean,
we've missed you, Alex. We've missed you. We've missed you. But yes, another football session coming up. You know, the important stuff to us. And James Best, he was the winner of our competition last month as well, or this month. And so he'll be presenting his report on how the challenges that he faced and how he came about building that report. So great session to look forward to in December. Okay, Ben Howard, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Good.
I'm good, Shep. How are you?
For your session?
Oh, we're ready as a leather bee.
Excellent, excellent. And I'm very well, thank you very much for asking.
Good man, good man. Let's see if we can share the right screen. That looks about it.
Live. Hello, you're on screen.
We are live. Hello. Oh, magic. Cool. So, season 3, episode 6. I just wanted to check something out or work using the Power BI mobile device with barcodes, because probably not a lot of people know this. So let's just crack on with this. There we go. So barcodes and mobile devices. So why is this useful? Why am I talking about it? Well, ultimately, you might be in an environment where you've got products or stock coding units, or anything really that has a valid barcode, and you might want to be in an environment where you need to scan that and gain more information about that device. And of course, most mobile phones, every mobile phone, of course, these days, not most, but 99.9% always have a camera on them. And therefore, we can use that camera as our scanner in order to get more info on our mobile, on our particular product. So we can use it for any product or item with a valid barcode. Typically, we'll always just display an image because that gives us a great visual recognition that actually what we've scanned is what we're looking at in our Power BI report. So if you're going to use images, please make sure that they're the same sort of size, good, consistent quality, etc. You need to begin to think, I mean, this isn't necessary, but you should begin to think about the mobile experience. The mobile experience is different to the desktop experience, okay? To smaller form factors, etc. When we create a mobile view, then that view applies when we are looking at our mobile device in portrait mode only. If we switch it to landscape mode, then we go back to the default Power BI report that we've created. And this then gives us a couple of headaches, or a specific headache, in terms that sometimes you want visuals that are only visible on your mobile device. You don't want those visible in a full format device. So how do we resolve that? Well, there's a couple of ways you can do that. One is if you've got specific visuals that you want on your mobile device that you don't want on your full landscape client, then you can go and hide those visuals, which is what I do. That's more complex for me as a report designer, but it makes it easier for our end users. The other way that I've thought about doing this, which I don't really like, but I put it out there anyway for discussion and thoughts, is we can create a separate workspace and just add the people as members of that workspace, people who have these specific scanners and they need access to these applications. It really depends upon how you segment your users. Okay, so that's the kind of intro. Let's get out of PowerPoint and have a look at Power BI. Here's my Power BI report. Okay, so this is pretty simple. We'll go and have a look at the data fairly soon. Let me stick my glasses on because I can't see anything. That's better. Here's my Power BI report, and if we click on the home button here, no, sorry, if we click on the view button, I always get these mixed up. You can see that we've got a mobile layout. Okay, now that mobile layout just gives me a default portrait view of a mobile phone. So what I'm able to do is take the visuals that I've already created and drag them on. Well, let's just go through. I've got 5 visuals here, and on my page view, I've only actually got 3. And the reason is behind this view, I'm displaying or hiding a couple of other visuals that I don't want, that I want to use on my mobile phone, but I don't want to use elsewhere. So they're kind of hidden. And the reason I've hidden them is effectively what I've done is I've taken this specific visual here in a portrait view where we've got the option to see the description and the price side by side. I've split that up so that we've only got the description in one area and the price on a card on another visual. So that's why I've done that. If we go over to the mobile layout, we can then just grab the specific visuals we want and drag them onto our mobile device. So we'll do that one for that. Maybe we'll do it that way. Okay, the other visual I want is this one. We'll just put a description of whatever we've scanned onto the page, and we'll put the price below that as well. Okay, so we'll just put that there. We'll put that in the middle. Maybe move that up. Okay, so we've got a mobile layout now, a description of a product and the price. So let's go back here. I did want to show you very briefly the data that we've got. So if we click back on home, click on transform data, here's Power Query. This is very simple. If we have a look in the data here, I've got 4 products. Each one has a barcode. Each has a random made up price and a description and an image URL. The image URL has to be a public space to go to, or at least somewhere you can access. This is Dropbox, so this is my Dropbox, and I've just made those images public. If you do this, then the one change you need to make is at the end of your image URL, you have to replace after the question mark, and you have to put raw equals 1, and that just changes the Chrome, the layout, if you like, of displaying this image outside of the Dropbox UI. So that's all we did for that. So we can close that little lot down, and then we can go and publish this report. So we'll save those changes, and all being well, with a bit of Wi-Fi, we will get that published up. I've got to say, if you're on Virgin Wi-Fi at the moment, as I am, you may be having some issues. So actually, I'm doing this all with my mobile phone. So I'm connected, hotspotted into my mobile phone. So let's just hope this plays. Whilst that's playing, let's just get the next bit of the demo up. Oh, everything's hanging. Everything's hanging.
What have you done, Ben?
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it's all looking good. There we go. So let's just get back to publish this Power BI report. I'll publish it into Apple Park. As for workspace, you'll see we've already got one of these. Do we want to replace it? Yes, of course we do. So that's going to go and publish into there. Got it. And if we come over to this web browser, oh, there's the Pluralsight thing that Sheb mentioned. So go to pluralsight.com. All of their courses, 7,000 plus video courses, including some on SPC, are available for review for this weekend only. So go to pluralsight.com, sign up to be notified, and just consume videos and courses and training over the whole weekend. Okay, back into powerbi.com. I'll just refresh this, and we are on the well, let's go to the Apple Park workspace. You can see we've got barcodes just published now, 112. So let's go and have a look at that as a report, not as a data set. And this is, again, typically what you would expect to see. So this is our default Power BI report. And so therefore we can go and let's just get this lot rendered. We can go and click on our light bulb, and we've got all the usual interactivity that you would expect. Okay, so all well and good. That's our visual report. Now let's open up then our mobile. So if we come over to here, I'm using Windows Connect, which is built into Windows 10, and then I'm just going to sign in on my Samsung phone. And my Samsung phone has something called Smart View. Oh, and we didn't demo this very well. So it says, for the Smart View to work, I've got to turn off my Wi-Fi. Sheb, you might lose me for a couple of seconds here as I go back onto my real Wi-Fi. Let's just see if Virgin is up and running.
Well, while Ben sorts out his internet, we'll just come back to me for a second. He did send me over a video actually, and he said, "Sheb, if I do get logged off, play this video." But I actually didn't download the video as of yet. So, but we'll just wait for him to come back. But we've had some really good questions on some of the SPC charts that Kristina went over. So keep those coming through. She's still in the background. She's still answering those. So if you do have more questions on those, keep sending those through. Let's have a look. So as mentioned, there's the Power BI Manchester Group next month, and let's have a look at our presentation here. So I'll probably take this opportunity to actually, thank all our special guests that we had this season. Actually, a lot of the guests came on, they spent time, we booked in hours of calls to go through each of their presentations, to work on them, and they put in a lot of time and effort, for each of the sessions. So really impressed with, some of the outcomes and the sessions we've had this year, and a special thanks goes out to those guys as well. They did take time out of their own sort of evening to work on some of these presentations, to show us guys and you guys what they've achieved with Power BI. So Tina Mina, thank you very much for your heat maps. Great session that you had there. Adi Christia, as you remember, Power Apps embedding, great session we had there. Carlos Castro with his performance tuning and the things that he picked up, whilst he was off during lockdown. So some great work there. And we also, you there?
You're there. We're back.
And we'll come back to the thank yous shortly.
Sorry to get you in the middle there.
No worries. Right, let me pass back over to you, Mr. Ben.
So one of the big advantages of Teams Live over some of the other technologies is that you can actually leave a meeting, especially if you own it. If you're the organizer, you can leave it and then come back and sign in on another Wi-Fi site, etc. Or you can disconnect and come back. So cool. So thank you very much. So I was in the middle of saying I'm using something called Smart View on my Samsung device, so we can go to the main screen here. So on the screen there, I've obviously got a load of icons. The fourth row down and the fourth on the right is called Power BI. So that's the icon I'm going to click here. Okay, so that takes me into now the Power BI app on my phone. There's a few things we can do. We can change some settings of how we interact with this app, etc., etc. So that's all well and good. We'll click up the top left here to go back. Along the bottom, I've got the Home tab, Favorites, Apps. If I have a look at apps which I've installed, we've got all of those. We've got Workspaces, and then of course I've got the ellipse button there, which gives me a whole host of other things. We'll go through the kind of whole interface here. So if I go back to the Home button, then you can see I've got some frequent, some favorited items on the Home, but really I want to go back to the Workspaces. So along the bottom, I'll click the fourth icon that says Workspaces. Here's all of my workspaces. We can scroll up and down all of those and see which ones are useful. The workspace we want, of course, is that one called Apple Park, so it's part way down. So we'll select that. Then I'm taken into the dashboards and reports for Apple Park. You can see that for customer profitability one, I've marked that as being highly sensitive. So I've used that sort of way that we can categorize our data in terms of the dashboard, and that one's also favorited. Along the top, if I click reports, then I've got all of the reports that are available for me. So you can see I've got barcodes and bike theft, and then we've got comparison of Gantt charts and COVID-19, etc. Now, one thing I want to point out is the icons next to barcodes and bike theft. They're different to the icons. They're purple, and they're different to the icons of comparison of Gantt charts, etc. That's because I've created specific mobile reports for barcodes and bike thefts. Okay, so let's go and have a look at that. I'm going to click on barcodes, and that takes me into the barcode report, and it loads up that report. Now notice when the top visualization refreshes, which is of all of the products, that we're listing all of the products at the moment. Okay, so that's the standard report. Now, if I turn this into landscape mode, you'll see that I just go back to the same report that we saw in the app.powerbi.com, and we can obviously scroll up and down there. If I go back to portrait mode, then we're back in that specific report for my mobile device. Okay, so what can we do at the bottom here? Well, the Power BI mobile app gives you the ability to do things such as annotate, take screenshots, share the reports with people, all those sort of social things. But then if I click again on the ellipses on the right hand side at the bottom right, we get the other options that we can that we have the ability to utilize within the mobile app. And so towards the bottom, you can see we've got barcode scanner right at the bottom. Just above that, grayed out because I've not enabled it, is a geo filter. So again, imagine I work for a big supermarket and I happen to be in the Northwest, which is where I am. Then any maps or other data visualizations could be set just to automatically give me the data local to where I am using that geo filter option. Okay, right at the bottom, we've got barcode scanner. So let me click on that. Okay, so now you can see what I can see. So this is the desktop, this is the work area, and over here, I've got some of those products. Okay, so let's go and have a look. Let's go and scan one of these. So here's my light bulb. Okay, and you need to be really quick on this. If I just scroll this round, you'll see here there's a barcode. And lo and behold, it just grabs that barcode really quickly and slowly refreshes Power BI, and it says there it is. There's your LED bulb, Ben. That's what you scanned. Price is $2.99. Well, that's pretty cool. Let's go and scan something else. Let's go and take my Ocean Spray, so we know where I shop if we go to Ocean Spray. Yeah, just get that in there. Let's just scan that round. There's a barcode for that very quickly. So that is my whole cranberry sauce, £2.29. Obviously, as we said before, we're not just limited with this on our mobile kind of view, but if we go back into here, click, scroll up and grab barcode scanner, then let's do the last one, which will be the HB sauce. There's a barcode on that, and that all works just very nicely. Okay, there it is. HB sauce come in, and of course, you know, it just sits there and tells us what product that is. Okay, so that was a brief intro into barcode scanning. Let's put my phone over there. Let's come out of there.
Yeah, Ben, I think you're on mute, but we have lost Ben, haven't we? It looks like you might be back.
I'm back now.
He's back now as well.
He's back, yeah. So what did I want to point out? So hopefully that was useful. I know we're kind of running a bit out of time. Let's get back to the slides. So ultimately, all I wanted to say was, you know, there is that feature in the Power BI mobile app to scan barcodes. If you are in an environment where you're using barcodes, perhaps in a warehouse, perhaps on a shop floor, perhaps because you've marked bits of manufacturing kit in a production environment with barcodes, and you need to quickly get at, I don't know, the maintenance schedule for the product or the owner of the product or something like that, then you can do so quite quickly. So that was it for me on Barcode Sheb. Hopefully that was useful and has added a bit of info out to people.
No, that was amazing. I love the feature. I didn't realize how sensitive it is with the barcodes as well.
Yeah, it's super fast, isn't it? It is super fast. Yeah.
So yeah, really impressive. I didn't know that feature was there. Is that something that comes default with the Power BI mobile app?
Yep.
Okay. And what was the other option that you said that was grayed out?
Geolocation.
Geolocation.
Yeah.
Okay, so it'd be interesting to get those enabled and have them both working in sync. I think that'd be a really interesting session we could put together there.
Yeah. Yeah. Now the next thing that you really want to do, of course, is look at what are the other tags It's not an RFID tag. It's the kind of thing that's almost replaced barcodes with a little square.
Oh yeah.
What
I
a
can't
vape.
remember the name either. Got a blank now. Someone's going to send it in the message in a minute.
Somebody's going to put it in a message. Yeah, I think the one that's on the front of the NHS app whenever you're scanning over. QR code. Thank you very much. That'll be the next thing, is to put an idea on ideas.powerbi.com or whatever that is these days and say, you know, let's have a QR code reader.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So yeah, thank you for that, Ben. It was really interesting, and yeah, I'm happy that you took mine. So I think it was a lot more interesting than the usual relationship that I was going to look at. But no, that would have been good as well. That would have been, I'd have made it a good session. But there you go. We'll have to wait till next season for that. So guys, we are coming to the end of the session, the series. A massive thank you to everyone involved. Thanks to all the attendees, everyone who's taken their lunch hour out to join us, everyone who's caught up on demand. Thanks to Ben, thanks to Lewis, thanks to Alex. You know, thanks for all the effort that's gone in the background. Thanks to all our special guests that we've had on each week. And as I mentioned, I've been through them earlier on. There was Francisco Gutierrez, who I didn't mention, and Greg Chesterton, who did real-time data as well in the first episode of this season as well. So everyone, you know, a massive effort. Really, thank you very much. Have a great festive period. Enjoy your Christmas. I don't celebrate Christmas myself, but honestly, it is the most wonderful time of the year. So I'm really looking forward to kicking back, relaxing, and enjoying some food over the festive period. And hopefully we'll be back, you know, in January 2021 with a fresh start, something different again. We've got some surprises in store for the new season as well. But as I mentioned, if you want to be involved, get in touch and let us know. Guys, do you want to unmute your mics and say bye-bye all at once?
Thanks, everyone. It's been a good season.
Bye-bye.
Thank you,
Thanks,
guys.
Lewis.
Next week. Thank you.
Thanks, Kristina. Alex,
Bye.
thanks for joining us on this session. A big thanks to our sponsors, Cloud2, as well, for all the support that they've given us during this season. Thanks to our presenters that have come from Cloud2 and Kristina as well for today's session. Hope you have a good, wonderful time. See you hopefully in the new year. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.